And good evening. We are coming to you live tonight from Alaska's largest city, Anchorage, one with incredible scenery and tonight, incredible importance. It is right here where President Trump begins a bold move towards peace. In less than 24 hours, the president will host Russian leader Vladimir Putin, not far from where we are tonight. And we have new reporting about the high-stakes summit to end this war in Ukraine. Here's what we know at this hour. The summit will be held at Joint Base Elmendorf. The White House says the two leaders will come together in the afternoon, then a lunch with the wider delegations. For the Americans, President Trump will be joined by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio. For the Russians, Putin will be joined by several top advisors, including his foreign and defense ministers. Following that meeting, we are expecting a joint news conference with both President Trump and Putin attending. It is not yet clear if both leaders will take questions. And tonight, as violent strikes are ongoing in both Russia and Ukraine, that cost of war continuing to climb. Look at this. Russia's seeing roughly 250,000 deaths and close to 1 million casualties. And Ukraine seeing between 60 to 100,000 deaths. Russia's advance significant over the past 3 years, but this summer, not as far as Putin has wanted. We have full team coverage from Kharkiv, Ukraine to Anchorage, which is where we start tonight with Garrett Haig.
Tonight, President Trump in the final countdown to Friday's high-stakes summit with Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
We have a big meeting. It's going to be, I think, very important for Russia, and it's going to be very important for us.
The president lowering expectations for Ukraine's ceasefire breakthrough during the talks tomorrow, but suggesting broader negotiations for peace could begin soon after.
All I want to do is set the table for the next meeting, which should happen shortly. I'd like to see it actually happen, maybe in Alaska, where we just stay because it's so much easier.
The Friday summit will be held on a U.S. military base just outside of Anchorage, marking Putin's first steps on U.S. soil since attending the UN General Assembly in 2015. The White House says the afternoon will include a private meeting between the two presidents, then a lunch with their larger teams, followed by a press conference. It's not yet clear if both presidents will take questions. Ukraine's President Zelensky will not attend, but President Trump affirming today he hopes to involve him quickly afterwards.
We're going to have a meeting with President Putin, President Zelensky, myself, and maybe we'll bring some of the European leaders along, maybe not. I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace.
Zelensky returning to Ukraine today from London after a series of meetings with European leaders, including the British Prime Minister. Putin meeting with his advisors in Moscow today, praising what he called the, quote, quite energetic and sincere American efforts to end the war. Presidents Trump and Putin have spoken several times by phone this year, but haven't met in person since 2019. At a 2018 summit in Helsinki, Finland, the two met for more than 2 hours behind closed doors. President Trump pressed about U.S. intelligence agencies' assessment of Russian meddling in the 2016 election, criticized later for seeming to accept Putin's denials.
They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be.
Alaskans we met say they're paying close attention to this summit. After all, for them, Russia is no far-off threat. At its closest point, just 55 miles across the Bering Strait, far closer than the rest of the United States.
Honestly, seems like he has a pretty decent expectation of the relationship that they have leader to leader.
I'm not a Trump voter, but that doesn't mean that I'm not rooting to see the death stop. You got to root for him.
And Garrett joins us now live here in Anchorage. Garrett, Ukraine and its European allies are on the outside looking in. And tonight there are real worries.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. They've long been concerned that the president would make concessions to Russia that they couldn't stomach. But 5 sources say the president has told European leaders he at least won't discuss possible divisions of territory in this meeting tomorrow.
All right, Garrett, hey, great to have you here in Anchorage. The stakes of the Trump-Putin meeting couldn't be any higher for the people of Ukraine, who have lived through more than 3 years of war. Richard Engel tonight is there for us.
Sometimes what you find accidentally is the most revealing. Today on the outskirts of Kharkiv, we came across a funeral for a Ukrainian soldier killed in a recent Russian attack. They allowed us to film this painful, intimate moment, usually out of sight. Ukraine doesn't like to show its military losses. The soldier's mother grieved, barely able to stand. Her son, Andriy Reshetilov, only recently drafted and sent to the front lines, leaves behind 2 children. I wondered what these people think about a potential ceasefire. The soldier's older brother, Artem, also serving, agreed to speak for everyone.
How are you feeling about the war and peace talks and where all of this is going?
We don't have to compromise with the enemy and give up our beloved land because this enemy won't stop and will return even stronger, he said.
So even now, as your family is making the ultimate sacrifice, you think there should be no compromise, shouldn't give up any land in exchange for a ceasefire or some sort of peace deal?
Yes, he said, because we know Russia and they never keep agreements. The ceremony was over quickly, perhaps because there was a line.
And even as one funeral is wrapping up, another one is about to begin right next to where the last soldier was buried. Another body is going in.
All the graves marked with flags are for soldiers. Today, we visited a Ukrainian drone base hidden in a garage. The unit's commander, Leonid Maslov, also has little confidence in President Trump's meeting with Putin.
I'm not optimistic. Putin is playing a very bad game. He will deceive Trump for sure. 100%. Trump will be deceived.
And Tom, Russian forces tonight remain on the offensive, trying to take as much land as possible before the summit.